If you're like me and you are just not all about turning on the oven right now because it is just too hot outside, this is the recipe for you. So good. We love this one. It all gets cooked in your crock pot. You can dump it all in and you don't even have to think about it for the rest of the day until it's almost time for dinner. We are going to start by making our own enchilada sauce for these crock pot chicken enchiladas. And I'm making my own enchilada sauce. I realize that that is a bit extra. You do not have to do this because a can of enchilada sauce at the grocery store is what, $3? So please don't feel like you have to make this. I just usually do because I already have everything on hand to make it. Also, this recipe is gonna make what would be probably several cans of enchilada sauce, maybe 2 or 3 cans. So you're gonna end up with extra and then you can freeze it for the next time that you make it. So totally up to you how you wanna go about this. If you are not interested in seeing me make the enchilada sauce and you just wanna see the recipe, just skip forward 2 to 3 minutes. I'm gonna take just a bit of oil here, probably only about a tablespoon, adding in some chili powder. So about a tablespoon of chili powder is what you're gonna need. And I never measure this, y'all. It is just a measure with your heart situation. About a teaspoon of ground cumin. And I think I probably have right at a teaspoon left in here. Maybe a little more, but that's okay because we love cumin. About a half teaspoon of garlic powder. And like I said, the reason I'm making this is all stuff we always have available in our house, okay? Half teaspoon of dried oregano. It's a little more than a half teaspoon. Add about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Just a quick dash of cinnamon. It's really only about an 1/8 teaspoon, so not much, but it does add this little punch, which is really good. You don't have to add it, but I do suggest just a little touch of heat. That's gonna be your cayenne pepper. Maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. You can just omit it altogether if you want a totally mild version, no heat at all on it. I'm gonna add a can of tomato sauce. This is a 15-ounce can. The whole thing is gonna go in here. I personally like to, there's a couple different ways you can go about this. This is adobo pepper in the adobo sauce. You know how you get the can of them and you never use the whole can? Well, I take the portions and I just freeze it into like 2 tablespoon size portions. So it's usually around 2 peppers with the sauce. The cool thing about freezing it is I can go in just like this right here. And because it's not completely thawed, you can kind of squish up the peppers and then you don't even have to put them into a blender to puree it. It's perfect. Now, if you don't want any heat on your enchilada sauce, then go with 2-ish tablespoons of just tomato paste. If you want a little bit of heat in your enchilada sauce, then add, it's almost like a rustic heat, not even like a hot heat, but add in some adobo peppers with the sauce, about 2 of them. It comes out to around 1.5 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons, just depending on the size of the peppers. The word that always comes to mind is rustic. I can't think of a better word than that to give you, but it just adds this like depth of flavor. Like I said, if you don't want any heat at all, go with the tomato paste instead, but we're sticking with the adobo peppers in adobo sauce. And then add in some either chicken broth, or vegetable broth. You can add water if that's your preference. Most recipes will tell you to do like 1 cup to 1.5 cups. I feel like that's excessive, honestly. So I usually do closer to like 1/2 or 3/4 of a cup and start to mix all that together. Now, normally, if you were throwing this into if you were making this and you're making chicken enchiladas, you would want to take this over to your stovetop and heat it up a bit. I'm not going to do that because it's going to be sitting in the crock pot all day. And so I just don't feel like it's necessary. Okay, now I am gonna toss a little bit of flour in here. It's gonna help it to thicken up. The crock pot will get to a high enough temperature that's gonna help it thicken up a little bit. It might not be totally necessary since we're not putting it over on like a boiling heat, but we're just gonna do a little bit here. If you were making it over on your stovetop and you were kind of pulling all this together by boiling it together, you'd want about 3 tablespoons. Okay, so that would thicken up over on your stove in about 5 minutes or so. This is good to go. I'm gonna set this to the side and get the rest of my supplies. Let's put the mass of spices away. this is so perfect for the crock pot. And I have made chicken enchiladas so many ways here on my channel. If you want to see our favorite one, it is a honey lime green chicken enchilada. Is that how you say it? Honey lime chicken enchiladas. Either way, it is so fabulous. It is on repeat in our house. I cannot tell you the number of times over the past 10 years we've made this recipe. But the crock pot is just, it's a summer staple, honestly. So we're gonna make that in here. Now I'm making a little bit of a more lean option tonight. So I'm going with chicken breasts rather than chicken thighs, but either one is completely fine. It's a preference thing. So just go with whichever you prefer. Okay, put those into the crock pot. This is 2 pretty large chicken breasts. If I were making thighs, it would probably be 4, maybe even 5 thighs, depending on their size. And that's gonna be, so we're using a pound. I mean, basically that's what you need to know. We're using a pound of meat here. All right, so let's add in some minced garlic. I'm going for 3 cloves. If you are gonna add onion to yours, you might wanna saute it over on the stovetop first. We are not adding onion. If you have been here for a while, you know that my husband does not love onion mixed into things. He is warming up to my onion though, y'all. He really is. Green onion, red onion, he is warming up. So we're thankful for that. Now, because we love that cumin flavor so much, we're gonna add more to the chicken, and this is gonna be about a teaspoon. I'm just gonna go sprinkle all over the top of the chicken. About a teaspoon of salt. Make sure we have good flavor all in here. And then about 2 cups of enchilada sauce gets poured over the top. I'm gonna add around a 1/4 cup of sour cream. And you guys know, usually we use Greek yogurt instead of sour cream. This was left over from a different recipe. I don't even have quite a 1/4 cup yet left, but I'm gonna use what's left in here just to eliminate this and not waste it. And then for the topping later, it's gonna be Greek yogurt. Also, I would feel completely comfortable using Greek yogurt instead of sour cream in this recipe. It's just, I don't wanna waste what we have in there. So I figured we'll just toss it in. All right, I have 1 can of black beans here that I'm going to drain and rinse. Always drain and rinse our beans to get off all that extra sodium. The whole can go in. And then let's just give it 1 more little stir here. The chicken is nicely nestled in. All the black beans are mixed, all of our ingredients together. And we're just gonna cook this on, I think I'm gonna do high because it's 2 o'clock already. Because this is chicken breast, it doesn't need to cook quite as long as you might think. Chicken breast will overcook pretty easily. So I'm gonna start this on high for 2 hours. Then we'll end up adding in the tortillas that I have. We're also gonna top with some cheese. We've got some avocado, we've got some cilantro, we've got some jalapeno. I mean, it's gonna look really good by the time we're done, okay? So let's pop this insert into the crock pot and start on high for about 2 hours. Okay, friends, the enchiladas have been in the crock pot for it's been about 2 hours, and we need to add in some tortillas. Now, I'm using white corn tortillas, and I'm probably gonna use about 6 of them. We'll start with that and see what I think it feels like after that. Now, you can cut this into strips, you can cut it into squares, whatever your preference is. So let's just cut in half. Why didn't that cut all the way through? There we go. I'm just gonna cut into little squares, just making sure that it's easy, bite-sized kind of pieces. Let's take these over to the crock pot and just mix it all in. Polly. Okay, we should just be able to easily shred this with 2 forks. Actually, you know what? I always forget. It's so much easier to use, where is it at? It's so much easier to use my mix and chop thingy from Pampered Chef. So I just do this. and just kind of turn it, and then it'll shred up that chicken that's been in there. Mix and chop I got from my friend Stephanie, and if you are curious, if you want one, it's like the best thing ever. I feel like I've had mine almost 10 years now. It's like 6 or 7, but she has a Pampered Chef. She sells Pampered Chef, so if you want one, I'll have her link in the description box, because it is seriously one of those tools that I use in the kitchen like 3 to 4 times a week. Chicken is nicely shredded. Looks good there. Now take the tortillas and drop those in. And this, once we stir this up, I'll be able to see if I feel like we need more than 6. This might be a good amount, actually. We also are going to top with some cheese. Monterey Jack is the option that I am going with tonight. And really, you just want to cover the top. It'll just melt on like casserole style, where cheese all over the top. You could for sure do a cheese-free version if that's your preference. Okay, so this basically, lid is gonna go on. I'm gonna leave it just like so. Actually, I'm gonna turn mine to low, but just let it go for about 30 minutes, and then we'll top it with a few other things. I already have cilantro lime rice made up because we actually had some yesterday. So today I don't have to make that, but I probably will serve this with a little bit of rice on the side. And then I'm gonna put some jalapenos on the top. I mean, I don't know that everybody will want them in their serving, but I like to have a little bit of jalapeno in mine, and it adds a beautiful green. And then also right before we serve, I'll cut up an avocado so that that is ready to go. We'll have some sour cream. So easy to make, so delicious. I'm gonna cut some cilantro here off of this bunch and chop it up really nicely. Obviously, if you're not a cilantro fan, you can skip this part. Okay, and the avocado, that is ready. The last thing I want is the Greek yogurt, and we're gonna take it and just kind of drizzle over the top because it makes it look really pretty. Now, obviously, if you're thinking the Greek yogurt thing is weird, totally fine, just use sour cream. But we have been using Greek yogurt in place of sour cream for years now, and it works out totally fine. Y'all, I was not filming when I just put all this stuff on here, but we drizzled on some of the sour cream. I could not believe I was not filming. So annoying. Added some of the jalapeno, topped with some cilantro, and then added the beautiful avocado on the sides there. And you just have the most beautiful summer crock pot. It doesn't even look like a crock pot meal. I mean, this is just gorgeous. And now we can serve. I mean, look at that, you guys. So this is the perfect little side to go with dinner. All right, so it can look a certain way all day long, but what do we really care about? We care about how it tastes. So let's go in, dive into this and just see. It tastes refreshing. I mean, it's chicken enchiladas. The corn tortillas are nice and soft, how you want them to be, but not mushy. Y'all. And the enchilada sauce is so vibrant. My husband is actually not home tonight, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna have leftovers for lunch tomorrow. Oh, I also forgot, I made salsa verde the other night. So I'm gonna be putting some salsa verde on this too. But very, very good flavors. I do not think it's spicy at all. Even with that chipotle pepper in there, even with the cayenne pepper, I am not super sensitive to spice though. But the flavors are really good flavor. So much savory is coming through, but you also get like that rustic hint of flavor that I was talking about earlier. Very, very good. All right, I'm calling the kids down for dinner because we are ready.
Our verse today comes from Isaiah 40:31. But those who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not be faint. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you would like more content just like this, I highly suggest that you check out the video that I have above. There's tons of crock pot inspiration in this video and absolutely some of our favorite recipes. But also don't forget to check out the video that I have in the description box with those honey lime chicken enchiladas because they are absolutely a family favorite. If you're new here, I'd love if you'd subscribe and stick around, and I hope that you're having a great week.